Hello my friend, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. In this video that we are creating here, we are going to discuss what is right on your screen. And this is Kenya National Examination Council's paper, Computer Studies year 2021. The paper that was done by the class of year 2021, which they handled in March year 2022. This is Computer Studies practical paper, that is paper number 2. And as usual, this paper normally has 2 questions, and the selection of the questions comes from 4 main packages that students go through. They are normally taught word processing, they are taught spreadsheet applications, they are taught desktop publishing, and then they are taught database management using various applications. So we go to question number 1, which we are going to handle in this particular video. So most welcome as we watch what were the content in this particular paper. Okay, so this is question number 1, guys, and it reads 1A. Open a word processing program and type the following passage as it appears. Save the document as GIS1. GIS1. So guys, there is a document here we are going to type for 20 marks. 20 marks is what we are supposed to earn after typing this text from here all the way down to the very last thing, and the document which I have checked so well, it is ending at this position. And then there are some other following questions that will follow thereafter. So because I did not want us to take so much time typing this, as you observe, and stay idle there, I have already typed the text into a Microsoft Word document. Let me show you what I have done already in preparation for this video. I have already typed this into a Microsoft Word document. So this is it. The text is here, and now we want to compare and see what are some of the modifications that we are just about to have done in this particular text that we have already typed. So I'm going to stack my windows side by side so that we are able to see Microsoft Word in one side, and then the original text, that is the question paper, on the other side. So guys, on the right side, I've got the question paper, and on the left side, I've got the document we are pursuing, which we are creating. Okay, so let me zoom in a bit in my original text so that some of the things that I'm going to mention, you can also be able to visualize what I am referring to. So on the left side, if you look at the document on my right side and the left side, you'll notice the fonts are not the same. The fonts are not the same. The original text is written using a font called Times New Roman, and then my text is written using a font called Calibri Body. So quickly, I highlight my whole text. Shortcut to do that, Control A. To highlight all the text. To highlight all the text again, you use Control A. It will highlight everything. Then, by default, every time we have an exam, especially in word processing, and in this case we are using Microsoft Word, you'll always note the default font the examiner likes using all the times is a font called Times New Roman. Times New Roman is the font the examiner likes. What size? Examiners do not like size 11, but they like so well having size 12. So every time, guys, you are starting an exam related to word processing, remember to set your font to Times New Roman and also the font size to size 12 if you want to perform so well in this particular paper. Then we go quickly to the heading. The heading is purpose of geographical information systems. So I highlight mine. Some formats are missing, and what we do is to apply them. The text in the right side is already bolded. That's the heading, and it's also underlined. So I apply to those two settings, and then I move on to the next item. The next item I want us to be keen on is the list that we have with the numbering style alphabets A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So that's the text that I have from here: an urban planner, a biologist, a hydrologist. Those four paragraphs, they have numbers. So what do we do in Home Ribbon? When you are using version 2016 of Microsoft Word, you notice there is this icon on Home Ribbon, paragraph formatting tools. We can choose this drop down list to choose the numbering style that you want. And in case, guys, you find the numbering style specified is not available, you can always remember to define a new number format. So in case you came into this window and then you found there was nothing like A, B, C, and D within the right kind of brackets which have been applied, you would come here, define a new style for yourself. So you would come under number format and then indicate what numbering style you would like. So we start by setting the numbering style. Are we going to use Arabic numbers, Roman numbers, capital, small Roman numbers, and so on? What do we want? We want alphabets. Then the number format itself. Sometimes you might find there are no two brackets, so what you don't need to worry. What you do is to apply the brackets as they are applied in the original text. So if there is an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis, make sure you enclose your alphabet within the two. And then the alignment, you don't have to change it unless you find it is a weird kind of a scenario. Basically, the alignment will always be left. Having done so, you click OK. But in my case, because the number system is already available, I'll just go to numbers and then I apply the numbering style that I want. The only difference that we are noting here, guys, is that there is an extra gap between the alphabet itself and the item in the list. So we want to create a wider space, a wider gap between the entries and the alphabetical numbering. So how we achieve that is simply by dragging this icon. I believe you can see where my mouse pointer is at. I want to drag the hanging indent icons, hanging indent towards the right to create that kind of a space, just a small space. That's what I have noted there. Okay, so that's done. Then we go on, and then below this paragraph, you will notice that there is a table that follows. So you remember how we insert tables in Microsoft Word? I believe you still remember. So what we are going to do, guys, is that we are going to create a space for the table, pressing enter, while I am in the paragraph that should be pushed down, and then I click on the empty space created. Then I go to insert. Insert what? A table. Before you ever insert a table, you must know how many horizontal things are there. How many horizontal divisions do we have? We call them rows. And how many vertical divisions do we have? We call them columns. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows by 1, 2, 3 columns. So we insert a table which has 3 columns and 4 rows. Such a table will be referred to as a 3x4 table. 3x4 table. There we are. We've got the table already inserted. Then the only thing remaining is to just check the structure of the table so that we can be able now to insert the text that is appearing inside that table. The first thing you notice in the top row is that it is one cell which has been formed by combining the 3 cells in the top row. And to achieve that, guys, we normally talk about what? We talk about merging of cells. I believe everybody can remember how we merge cells. We go to layout on table tools, and then you click the icon to merge cells. That's how you combine many cells into one. Combining many cells into one is what we call merging. So then we can type the text that we have inside there. So we have the text that reads questions. So we type that one, questions. A GIS can answer, right? Hoping we are all together there. And then we center align that text. Don't need to highlight it, but if there is another format like the bolding style, I need to format, to highlight, and then I choose the bold font style. And then after bolding, what is also done into this text, it is appearing in white color. And remember, white on white will not appear, so you must also remember to apply the cell shading. The cell shading, which is right now in color black in our original text. So what we are going to do, we change the font color. Remember the icon for font color. Here it is. And then you apply white color. And immediately, don't forget to choose cell shading color. You can have it from the home ribbon. It is also available under table tools. Under table tools, you still can find cell shading icon. Then the first column, we have got the alphabets A, B, and C. Okay, so where are we? We are here. We are there. And then we type in the middle column, we have got a text called location, and then condition, and then we have got what? Trends. So you type that. Then we go to the third column. So you notice, guys, that the first column is very narrow. You reduce the width of the first column by dragging the shaded region on the horizontal ruler. We will decrease the width of the first column. And then the second shaded region, we will decrease the width of the second column. Then if we wanted to enlarge the width of the last column, which is the third column, what we do is to drag the third shaded region, which marks the boundary or the end of our table. Then again, you notice from our original text, the table is kind of pushed inside, and it is somewhere aligned to the word data here. So how do you move a table? The very first shaded region will allow you to move the table when dragged from the horizontal ruler. Very, very, very well done. But you notice my table now is somehow bigger than the original. The original table is not too big like my table that I'm creating. So I reduce the width of the last column a little bit so that it can be around there. So let's go on to the next item in the table, entering the text that we have in the different cells, So we have the first text, which is reading, what is at given, what is at a given location. Okay, so that is what we are reading directly from the original paper, the question paper. What are the locations? What are the locations where certain conditions are met? So now that the text has moved a bit, which means that we need to adjust the width of the column just a little bit, Okay, then again, we go to the third cell. How is it labeled? What are the differences? What are the differences? What are the differences within an area over time? An area over time. Question mark. Anybody who does not know how to type a question mark? Now you need to do some more practice on your keyboard so that you are able to type every character there is in that keyboard. Then if you are so keen, you will also notice that there is extra space that is appearing above every entry of this table and even beneath every entry that we have in this table. So how can we achieve that? We can select the whole table, and then we want to create some small space above every paragraph and then some small space below every paragraph. To achieve that, guys, where do we go? On home ribbon, then we go to paragraph settings window. That's how you will activate paragraph setting window. And then after that, now we ask ourselves, how do we create some small space above every paragraph and beneath every paragraph? I'm going to interfere with the spacing before, set it to say 3 points, and then check the results, check the outcome, and I think that we are good to go. I think the table is now perfect, very beautiful, just like the original is also beautiful. Then we highlight this row so that we can be able to change the color from what it is to that grayish color. So to achieve the gray color, the gray shade, we go to table design tools, and then we apply gray shading. This one, the ability to choose the right color will be determined by when you look, what do you see? Personally, when I look, I see like we have white background, one darker, 25%, that color. So I believe it is almost matching the original text. So I apply the same color to these two rows which have been formatted in the same way. So we are moving on well. We move to the next item here. So we've got the text that is appearing from the word location all the way to the words that are having with the soils suitable for supporting buildings. That text, if you look at the original text, you notice that it is bulleted. That text is bulleted. The first and the last statement have square bullets, whereas the middle two statements have got circular round round whatever, what do we call them? Bullets. Very good. So we apply bullets here by clicking this icon. We can first apply the square bullets to all the text that we have. In case your computer, you again find there is no bullet, the one that you would have liked to use, don't forget to go to define a new bullet, and then on font, you're going to find there can be so many bullets that you can apply. But I'm lucky, in my case, there is the bullet that I need for this text. So I apply that one, and then these middle statements here, these other two statements, they have got circular bullets, and then again they are somehow indented. Remember the indenting tools and the paragraph formatting tools, you can increase indent, and then you notice also the bullet changes. However, the examiner does not want this kind of a bullet. The examiner would like to have us a round bullet which is already filled with some color. So we choose a bullet which has got some fill color. That way, now we are moving on very, very well. Moving very, very well. Now we check again what else we need to do from the original document. The original document requires that we have a drawing which comes under this heading, functional components over GIS, which is bolded, and then it is also center aligned. Don't forget that. Don't try to add manual spacing so that we can have this center aligned. Remember, there are tools which are used for alignment of text. So after we have aligned the text, the heading correctly, we do what? We insert a drawing canvas. Guys, remember that every shape that you draw should always be grouped, and how we group items using Microsoft Word is by use of drawing canvases. A drawing canvas will help us to have our object grouped together. So I've just resized the image like that, the area which we are reserving for the drawing. I can then insert all the 4 boxes, the 4 boxes. So I go to insert, and then after I insert, I'm going to find there are shapes. What shapes I need? I need all of them are rectangles. So we have got a rectangle at the top there. Then we have got another rectangle where you can again now access them from a shortcut here. We've got a big rectangle around here. Then we've got another rectangle around here. So you can either insert rectangles, or you can also insert them as text boxes. So a text box will initially come ready to receive text inside. But when you draw a rectangle, you have to remember to convert it to a text box. By doing what? By right-clicking the rectangle and then choosing Add Text option. So at the top there, we have got data input. Data input is the text I'm reading there. And then the second one, don't worry about the missing text. I will show you how we are going to reveal the missing text. Then the second text is database. And then we have got the third text here in this rectangle. We have got query and analysis. Query and analysis. And then another one here, we have the text word is output, output and visual, visualization, output and visualization. All this text, guys, is appearing in a font called what? We said by default the examiner will always use Times New Roman. Don't forget that. Every time you are answering any question in Microsoft Word, many times the examiner will always use Times New Roman as the font. And that's what I have changed my text to. Then the line spacing, I reduced to 1.0. Then could there be some space after the paragraph? Yes, I can also remove that. And in case that the text does not now fit, I can adjust manually and have the rectangles accommodating the text. I have the rectangles accommodating the text. So likewise, for this and for this and for this, we can format them all together. Times New Roman as the font. And then what else? Line spacing, single. Then paragraph spacing, remove spacing after paragraph. Then you find on the lower left rectangle, the text could not fit. So we adjust manually just slightly. And then now what remains is inserting arrows. We insert shapes. And in this case, we want to have some block arrows. Top to bottom block arrow. Insert it like that, and then another one. There is another arrow there. The shapes you use recently, they will always remain somewhere closely available for you to use it again. The shape will be anticipating that it might be used again. So the only challenge that we now have is that the text that we have created is in white color, and there is a blue fill color, which we want now to change to have the text appearing in black color. So what I'm doing is to select multiple shapes, and what I did is to click on the first shape, then held shift so that I can click on any other subsequent shape to select multiple items together. So that we change now the color to black. And then the fill color of the selected items, I go to shape format and I tell these shapes you should not have black color. You're going to have either no fill or white color, whichever you prefer. In this case, I think both of them will work almost the same way. Then the outline of every rectangle must be in color black, just like the examiner has presented the diagram to us. Then the arrows, I click the first arrow, hold shift, click the second and the third arrow. Remember, in an exam, we normally say what? That you must move with the speed to accomplish the task the examiner has presented to you. So you realize the arrows, guys, do not have a fill color. They have white color inside. I was just about to fill the arrows with white color, black color, which could have been wrong in this case. So then I'm now adjusting the positioning, the placement of the rectangles, so that at least I appear more accurate or more accurate minded. Accuracy also matters once in a while, but in case there is no enough time, you should rush now to score some mother marks elsewhere. You should not remain here struggling to just do one activity without remembering that there are more marks awaiting you ahead. Remember, typing accurately this document required us to get 20 marks. So that is done. And then I remember to have the cursor somewhere close to my drawing, either on the left or on the right. alongside the drawing canvas, and then I remember to have it center aligned. Now guys, I think we are almost done with the text, and let's check what we might not have done. So this is the original paper, and we started well. That one is already formatted. We have already bulleted the list here, numbered the list here. Then we have got a table, we have drawn it, we have shaded it, we have bulleted and so on, and then again we have created this drawing. Are we therefore not fully done? We are done. But remember the name of this document. We were told to use a name GIS1, GIS1. So I'm just about to save the document. So I go to File, Save As, and then browse to go to my location where I would want to have the document saved, and then I call it GIS1, capital letters. If the examiner uses capital letters, use it, GIS1. If the examiner uses a combination of all the cases, use it like that. GIS1 already perfectly done. So we click on save. Very good. So you can see now that's my document. Looks cute. The only challenge which I have just noticed is that the title should be center aligned, but mine is left aligned. That's the only thing that I have found amiss. So very quickly I center align, and then I remember to update the change I have made by saving. So we go now. Next question, which is part B of this paper. Part B says we do what? Let's read the text together. Create a copy of the passage into a new blank document and save it as GIS2. That's what the examiner here has said. Create a copy of the passage into a new blank document and save it as GIS2. Okay. Two alternatives exist for that. One is where we shall have to highlight everything, and then by highlighting I mean we press Ctrl A, or you drag the mouse over everything there is in the original document, then copy. Remember the shortcut for copy is Ctrl C. Ctrl A is what I pressed for highlighting, and then once you press Ctrl C, you go to a new document, you start a new document, and then on it you're going to do Ctrl V for pasting. But now that we are copying everything, I don't find that necessary. I find what could have been more appropriate is just going to File. This is the second method. File, then Save As, and then I browse to my examination folder. Unfortunately, I'm just choosing my desktop as my saving folder, but no worry about that. GIS2 is the file name that we have been required to use. So I've got now the original GIS1, and then I now have the second one, which is GIS2. 2 marks already earned. We go to the question paper. There it is. Perform each of the following on the document. Roman 1, format the passage as follows. Format the passage title. Don't read like me. Don't be in a rush. Format the passage title as follows. Font size 20. Have a mark. Apply an outline effect. So we go quickly to the document. The passage title, here it is. I zoom in so that you can be able to see it clearly. And then font size, we have been told choose size 20. And then after that, we have been told to apply an outline. I don't know whether you have ever done that, guys, but it is very easy to achieve that. So on the font setting window, we can be able to achieve that. So how we are going to achieve that is by, we have already selected the fonts that we want to use, but now we go to text effect. Text effect icon down there. Using Microsoft Word 2016, there is a possibility that you are going to find these two options. That we have this side, and then there is text effects. One is text fill and outline. Actually, our interest is on text outline, and then we say we need to have a solid line. Of which color? Color, remember we are using color black. But there should be a fill color. There should be a fill color. The fill color should now not be black. We want to see another color. inside there. So that color should be white. So a black color will surround a white fill color. So let's see whether we are able to create the outline as required. There I go. Clap for me. Very good. So that's already done, guys. And then we go back to the next question. The next question indicates here that we do what? Apply 2 lines drop cap to the first 2 characters of the first paragraph. A 2-line drop cap to the first 2 characters of the first paragraph. So we go to the document once again and then go to the first paragraph. We highlight the first 2 letters and then we are going to tell the computer now to insert a drop cap. In 2016, version 2016, it is very possible that you may not quickly find the drop cap tool. However, because I'm here, things are gonna be perfect. We have got this tool here along insert ribbon. Go to where we have got text box, and then just close to text box icon, you're going to find a small a, which when you point, you should see drop cap option. So the examiner wants us to use drop cap options so that we are able to come to the option dropped, and then we tell the computer we need to drop these 2 lines, not 4, not 3, but 2 lines, and then okay, we set the drop cap. So PE has already been set. So how I started is simply by highlighting PE and then going to the drop cap options. Very good. Beautiful. Moving on very, very well. Next question. Next question here is Roman 3. Apply indent format to the listed numbers, to the listed numbered and bulleted lists of size 3 centimeters from the left, 3 centimeters from the left, and 1.5 centimeters from the right, 1.5 centimeters from the right, and 3 centimeters from the right, from the left. So that means that the examiner wants to test us about indentation. So we highlight the first list, which is numbered list, and then we go to home. On home is where we are going to find paragraph formatting tools. So go to paragraph settings, and then paragraph settings indentation. Now we are going to change the left indentation to what did the examiner say? The examiner said the left indentation should be of size 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. Okay, so I don't know whether the computer will know that these are centimeters. Yes, the computer is aware that the measurements are in centimeters. In case they were not, you go quickly to File, Options, Advanced Display, and then down there you are going to find Show Measurements in Units of. You change to centimeters. Again, File, Options, then Advanced, and then you go down to Display, and then you are going to say Show Measurements in Units of centimeters. On the right side, what was the examiner saying? On the right side, he wants 1.5 centimeters. So you can either spin the value or you can simply type the value. And there we are. So we say that's okay, that's perfectly fine. And what else are we to do? The other one, the other list, which is bulleted, the bulleted list here. I'm sorry, I've messed, so I undo the mess. I've pressed Ctrl Z to undo that mess which you just saw on the screen. Then I go to, again, paragraph settings, and then again quickly on the left side 3 cm, and then on the right side I want to be so sure that the measurements are in centimeters, and then on the right side we have 1.5 centimeters once more. Okay, so that's done. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what the examiner wants. And then we go to the next question, guys, and that is Roman 4. Roman 4 says, apply each of the following to the bulleted and the numbered list. Why could you have not said that before? But don't worry. Line spacing of 1.5, justified alignment. So 2 items here, line spacing 1.5, justified alignment. Okay, so we go to the document once more, and then already we have highlighted the bulleted list. So what we do now, we can have this as the shortcut to do the line spacing. to 1.5. Perfectly done, perfectly done. The bulleted list is already at 1.5 spacing. Then what else have they said? That we also justify, we use justify alignment to the bulleted list. Very well done. Then the numbered list, the same format, don't forget, 1.5 as align spacing, and then justified alignment as the alignment style. So you can see this one is portraying the right picture, justified alignment, evenly lined up on both sides. Very perfect, very perfect. So don't worry about the moving image, because it's moving because there is no space for it above there. So don't worry about that. We go to the document again, that question paper. Here we are once more. Roman 5. Apply 2 columns layout with a line between. The first column should contain the information between the table structure and the subheading. The information between the table structure, note that, should contain the information between the table structure and the subheading functional components of a GIS. The second column should contain the rest of the information from the functional component of a GIS. So meaning the examiner wants to find this text around here, appearing on one column, whereas the text below functional, from here, functional components of a GIS, on another column. So on the left side we are going to have a portion of text, and then on the right side we are going to have this heading plus the respective diagram. So let's try that, guys. So this text begins from where? The text below the table structure, down to the image like that, and then we go to layout. That's where we normally find columns. So we go to columns and then say 2 columns, and there we are, we have the 2 columns, only that the text is appearing one word. You know, it's looking funny, but the examiner said it. Okay, although we can though we are not told, there is something we can try probably to see whether it will improve the appearance of the text, reducing on the inside space between the 2 columns. I am reducing it to around 0.8 centimeters, so that I can also be able to apply a line in between. Line between was something that was required by the examiner. Very well done. But unfortunately, guys, you notice that my text is not exactly the way the examiner expected. Functional components of a GIS should be on one side, whereas all the other text as from the area specified should be appearing on the left side. So what we do is to force. We create a forced break from this text going downward. So how you create a break is again on layout, then we go to breaks, and then you choose column break. Don't forget that. Breaks and then column break. Okay, so do we achieve it? Not as yet, not as yet. I don't like this scenario. I just wonder this whether this examiner was seriously meaning what he meant. Okay, but I'm going to, I don't know whether you can agree with me that for the examiner to clearly see that we have already achieved what they wanted us to do, we might also be forced to create a page break, so that we move these columns on a new page, which will clearly show the examiner that we did what we were requested to do. So let me create a page break there, and then that will clearly indicate that we have been able to achieve what the examiner wanted. They wanted this text to be on the left, and then there was this text to be on the right. So perfectly done once again. Perfectly done once again. Okay. Then where else? We are now in part D. We have already dealt with up to Roman V. We go to part D. Roman 1. Convert the table structure to text separated by tab characters. So remember, guys, we have got a table. We have got a table here what do we do? Select the whole. We can set. Sorry, I'm sorry for that. Again, I undo the mess. I have just italicized without my desire to do so. So I select the whole table. How do you select the whole table? You can click somewhere within the table, and then a small compass will appear on top left corner. Top left corner. You click it, it will select the whole table. And then under layout, under table tools, layout is where you find the last option being convert to text. If you are using version 2016, that's where you are going to trace this small menu, convert to text. And then remember, the examiner has indicated we are going to separate the text with tab character. So separate text with tabs, separate text with tabs, and then OK. And then OK, there we are, already done. But remember, now that the heading was in white color, it has disappeared because it's the table. The table was filled with some color. So no worry about that. I just restore the black color which we had initially used. So that's also perfectly done. Just perfectly done. I tell you, perfectly done. Then what else is remaining? Apply each of the following to the structure chart drawn. Group all the objects of the drawing. Didn't we do that? We did using a drawing canvas. Apply shadow effect to the grouped object. Shadow effect to the grouped object. Now, what is ambiguous there is whether the shadow is to be applied on the drawing canvas or whether the shadow is to be applied to every small item that is drawn, used to produce this image. So I prefer trying both. Let's just try both. Shape format, and then after selecting shape format, we have got shape effects, and then under shape effects we have got shadow. So let's try applying a shadow. We apply a shadow. We apply a shadow. There is the shadow. So sorry for that. Apply a shadow. That's what I have already done. Applying a shadow. I believe you can be able to see the small shadow appearing here. And if the shadow is not appearing so well, there are options that exist. There are options that exist at the shape format. Again, shape effects. Then we go to shadow. Then you go to shadow options. Then you can specify the size of the shadow. Then distance. Where do we want to have the shadow? Move a little bit from the image. So it was initially 3 points. Let me try having it move to 6 points so that the examiner will be able to clearly see. Even if he was a very old man and does not see so well, he will be able to see there is a shadow behind. Okay, so the other option might have been, so I will apply both because I do not know what the examiner exactly meant. So to select the boxes plus the arrows as well, I'm holding what? Shift to select these different items together simultaneously. Then I unselect the box around. Okay, so it is like the box around is refusing to be unselected. Let's see. Select the shapes like that. Then go to shape format once again, and then shape effects, and then shadow. Let's just have a shadow, just in case the examiner was to look for the shadow for every object that you have drawn. So there it is. Every object has a shadow, and even there, the grouping tool, which is a drawing canvas, also has got its respective shadow. So marks for shadow should be there. We trust that marks for shadow will also be added to our marks. Very good. So where are we now? And automatically, where are we? An automatically numbered caption with text components of GIS. How do you add a caption? an automatically numbered caption with the text components of a GIS. Very good. So that's another very simple thing. You select the drawing canvas again, and somewhere along its border, you right click it, and then you choose insert caption. Where is insert caption? Somebody show me insert caption. Down here, I have it, insert caption, and then figure 1. Figure 1. Figure 1, don't interfere with the figure 1. Let it be automatically generated by the computer. Okay, so what we are supposed to add is the text that is appearing there, components of GIS, components of, I'm so sorry, I typed without checking. I was looking at something else, components of GIS. And then okay, there we are. Okay, so I zoom out so that we can check the progress of things here. My document has got 2 pages, and so meaning I am doing very, very fine together with yourself. So what else is remaining? Enter. We have got some more items on the next page. 4, enter your name and your index number at the page footer, aligned to the right. Aligned to the right. So we go to the document, and then we insert a what? A page footer. Insert footer. Insert footer. Don't forget, insert footer. Then how is the footer? We choose edit footer. We choose edit footer, and the examiner has been so keen even to specify that he needs it on the right side. So I'll tell them my name. My name is teacher of computer studies. Teacher of computer studies is my name. And what is my index number? Guys, my index number, I'm going to type it here. Index number is index number 001 001 001 001. That's my index number. There we are. Computer studies. Teacher of computer studies. Okay, that's also perfectly done. Let's see whether there is anything we are supposed to do. Apply a page border with a page border line of width 3 points. Page border line with 3 points. So quickly to the document once more, and then move out of the header. Move out of the header by header. From the header menu, I choose close header and footer. Then I quickly go to borders. I quickly go to home ribbon. Then there is border icon. Then I choose, be careful here, this is version 2016. Borders are not just straightforward. Home, borders icon, and then borders and shading. Then from there I choose page border. Then from there I choose a continuous line, and then format it to 3 points as required by the examiner. 3 points as required by the examiner. Then choose OK. Then I click on OK. So where is the page border? Let's see. Like we did not apply. Let's see again. In home ribbon, page borders, under borders and shading, go to page border icon. Then choose the border that you want, the line style, the width of it, and then remember, this is what we did not do. We did not apply. Where do we want it to appear? Top border, bottom border, left border, and right border. The 4 borders must be there, applied to the whole documents. And then you click what? Okay. So the 2 borders, the 2 pages that we have already have got the border as required by the examiner. So very good. Moving on very well. Next question. Pull the next question, put it here. Apply an automatic uppercase Roman page numbering at the top center of the page. Apply automatic uppercase Roman page numbering at the top center of the page. 2 marks there. So I go to the document once again, and then I tell the computer I want to insert something. What do I want to insert? Page number, top of the page. What kind of a numbering style? Here you will not be able to choose numbering style, but what you are going to first pick is the placement of the page number. Then we go back there again and tell the computer we want to format the page number. Format the page number. So I'm on header and footer toolbar, page number, then format page numbers. Then we say the number format that we expect to have is capitalized Roman numbers, capitalized Roman numbers, and then I choose OK. So remember to close the toolbar after inserting the page numbers. So here, if I zoom in, you can see there is capital I, the first page, and then I go to page 2, there is a number 2. So I can tell the computer again when I'm on number 2, page 2, to use a similar page number format. So format page numbers, use a similar page number style, Roman numbers. Continue from previous section and then OK. So we have Roman 1 and then next we have Roman 2. Very well done. Which is the next question? Pull down the next question here. The next question is F, which reads save the changes and print out later each of the following documents. So we are done. What we are just going to do is, remember we saved GIS1. We are now updating the changes we have created in GIS2, and because GIS2 already has a name, I simply click on the save button and I am done with this Microsoft Word exercise. What is remaining? Going to file and then print, and then do what? I am asked to connect to a printer. So printing will come later. So you choose the printer and then remember to hit the print button, and you are done with the exercise. And I wonder why we shall not be scoring 50 marks in this particular exercise. So guys, that is how you could have handled question 1 of this year 2021 Kcse Computer Studies Practical Examination. I want to wish you all the best as you continue with your day-to-day endeavors. May you stay safe and blessed. Thank you very much.